This conference will now be recorded.
All right, recording is started. So we'll continue this topic, master data. So what we were discussing yesterday was, how these things are interacted with each other, and we saw a planning area, how this looks like. We understood what are the different, master data type. If it is a combination of two master data types, that's the compound master data type. And we can also have a, reference master data type. For example, there is ship from location and ship to location. So one of them can be the reference of the other. So today what we'll do is we'll do an hands-on exercise that when we build our own planning area by copying one of the sample planning area, what are the activities that we need to do? In the starting, we will get, this kind of error, and then how to resolve it. All that we'll see step by step. So I'm going to a Fury screen. I've logged in into the system. I'm going to an app as sample model entities. So here there is a search button, and we have this, a space where we can search the apps. If we see the app here itself, we can just click it. It's the same thing, or we can just type in the name. So I'll just type sample model entities. So this is all the part of the model configuration. Whatever master data we set up will come under model configuration. So I'm into this app called as sample model entities, and there are planning areas, and this is very popular planning area, SAP IBP 1, which carries all the three dimensions. So I have an button to copy this. Once I copy this, it will ask me, several options. So those options can be, for example, if I already have a planning area, right? And I want to merge this planning area into that planning area. So merging can be like whatever extra, you can say, key figures are there or attributes are there, that will be gone to the new planning area. Or I can copy this as an independent planning area into a new fresh planning area, right? That is what uh, actually we should do. But if required, SAP has given an option of merging as well into an existing. So there are 4 to 5 options that SAP give. But during the start of the project, we always go for the, copying the planning area with all the dependencies. So whatever, uh, dependencies this planning area has, it will just, copy all the master data types, everything to the new planning area. If I click copy, you will see all the different options. So second option, you see that, if you want to do a partial copy, for example, if you want to choose like, um, uh, for example, the relevant key figures, or there are filters that you want to provide. You don't want to do the whole copy of the planning area, but you want to choose it. There is an existing planning area, you want to merge it partially or fully. If there is any planning area you want to replace it, you will give the same name as the existing planning area and then replace it. So in the starting we should go for this one, because this will create your fresh planning area with all the dependencies, with all the master data types that are there. Even it will also, copy the time profile. We just have to give the new name of the time profile. So whatever, time profile attributes it has. For example, yesterday we saw that it was day, and then it was week, month, quarter, year. So everything will get copied into it. So not the data. right? Data we will load it later, but just the, you can say the base architecture or the base configuration will be copied, that how the time profile should be, right? It has all the months, it has quarter, year, right? The foundation will be actually copied. So if I select this, it will ask me to enter the new planning area where I want to copy, right? So this is the source planning area, which is the source planning area, SAP IBP1. I can copy into a new planning area. So I can give the name. So generally, as a best practice, what I've seen in the organization, the name will be something like Z, and whatever is the company name, they will, if the company name is big, they may take, first three letters of that, and then that is how, they will say prod, like this is a production planning area. So let us say that, this is for SAP IBP. So okay, we cannot use this one. All the three dimensions are there. Let's say this is our, okay, this has the character limitation as well, so let us leave it here. So one more character it will just support, not after this. These many character limitations it has. Let us give a name here. So that's why, whatever is the company name, we can just choose. The company name is, short abbreviation is more than, three letters, then we can just choose the first three letters. Yeah. Technically you can choose any name, right? So that will not stop you. That is the alphanumeric. So this time profile, you always give it into the, integer. So if you try to give, ABC, then it will say that, enter a positive integer. So it means that there should be a unique number. If it is already existing in the system, it will, not allow us to uh, create that. So for example, if I give 9, if it is not a unique number, it may give me the error. Now you see this, right? So yesterday we were discussing that the master data types, all the master data type will be copied from the source planning area to target, but what is the prefix that we want to keep? So we have to give first three letters. So what you do generally, you will give the first three letters as this, the first three letter of your planning area. So I have already used ZSAP IBP TR1 planning area. So if I give this three letters here, then it will be, it may not allow because those master data types are already existing with this prefix. So what I'll do is, let me just change it. So I will call it as SAP IBP, all the three dimensions, and then Z IBP 3D SAP. So now here I can give, first three letters of this, Z I B, and then it is asking me what all, if you want to filter anything or all the supported applications like demand side, inventory side, sales side, right? So I'm telling to the system I need all, also apart from these three dimensions, we also have, some analytics charts as we were discussing, so we can also copy them. Everything we are copying, it will just ask us that, once we click the copy button, it may ask like, are you sure you will be using all the three functionalities? If not, in order to save the space, if you are very sure you are using only the demand planning, then copy only the demand planning. That kind of, warning the system will give. We'll go ahead with that warning. So this is what it is telling, that do you really need to copy all the applications? If you perform the copy with all the selected, more key figures might be copied than necessary, right? So if it is not necessary, do not copy all.
But it's always good to copy all, correct? in the real project, so that you have everything available the first time itself.
Yes, yes, at least yes, because it has only 400 few 400 some key figures, right, that we have seen. So at least I have seen in the projects the total number of key figures will go above 1,000, because 400 they will get out of this, and then depending on their needs they will also create more key figures, z key figures, and yeah.
So you
So
click the copy alerts, correct? The copy alerts is then only you can see the control towers. If you don't do the copy analytics, and will not be the part of the control towers.
yeah, we will see that, but the sample applications or sample data will not come. We can create on our own, but if
Oh,
we copy this, then
okay.
you will have sample charts,
You will
you
be
will
able
have
to
something to refer. Yeah,
sampling the data, and then you will see the analytics and create some experience on it. Okay, good, man.
exactly. By seeing that itself, you will get some experience, and you will not need me also. You can leave the training, you can do on your own.
Yeah, I'm not leaving. So yeah.
So, HS question is the filters for copy when you say, I mean, it is for different types of planning, right? Or what is that exactly?
Yeah, it is for different areas. You see that demand planning area,
Yes. Okay.
inventory planning
So,
area, and
so that
SNOP.
means, okay. So if there are 400 key figures, so it will be like, whatever filters we are selecting, multiply into 400. For
No,
example,
no, all 400 key figures belongs to all the three areas,
okay.
because all those key figures will be related to, some will be specifically related to demand side,
Okay. Okay.
some, yeah. So these are all, no multiplication.
Okay. So the key figures which are required for DP, it may not be there in the demand sensing, right? Or if it is required, it will be there like that.
Now everything you will see in the planning area, you will see
Okay.
all the 400, some 70 key figures were there.
Hmm.
Whichever you want to use them, you can just utilize them and then fill the data in those key figures.
Okay.
So now he's going to copy the data from
It
IBP
is
one.
copying. If you see, it is taking some time
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
is copying everything.
So
Yeah,
this is the IBP one. This is called the the product called FG1, FB1, but the company will have
and
a product
no,
FB1.
no,
So
no.
basically,
That product data and all master data, it will not copy. It will just copy the definition of the master data. For example, let's say that there will be the values of the product ID, right? IBP 100, FG126. Those value we have to load it as a part of the master data.
okay,
So let's
okay,
say, yeah. So let's say that initially, during our project, we have copied this. Then you will do in the real time, what you will do the mapping with your S4 system. There the batch jobs will run, which will take the master data and load it for the first time, right? As a
yeah.
part of your
It's
cutover
like a
activity.
metadata. They're copying like a metadata. That's what it is.
Yeah, now, yeah, it is that information about that data. Exactly. So now
Just
we
for me,
have,
just for myself and Jay talk about analytics. So
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. You talk about anything in this training, okay?
yeah, nothing about you though. So
All right. So now you see that, this is the new planning area screen that we have got. It took few seconds to come up to this screen. So if it is not coming, just don't refresh it or something. Just wait it for a few seconds. It will come because it takes little bit of time. And yeah. So now you see one of the important stuff here is in the starting, this status will be inactive, right? Because just now we copied a new planning area, the status is inactive, but it is telling that the copy is successful. It means that there are chances, 99.9% chances, that when we activate it, because we haven't created our own key figures as of now, nothing we have done. It is just just the standard planning area we have copied. All the key figures have been copied here successfully. And if you go to the master data type, which is associated with attributes, right? So if you see this diagram, you will remember that this attribute is associated to the master data type. So that's why if you go to this tab called as attribute, you will see the master data type, and all the master data type will have the prefix, whatever the prefix that we have given, the first three letters of the planning area, right? This ZIBP. So ZIB. So ZIB is in each of our master data type. So for example, if we see for the product master data type, so that will be ZIB product, like this, right? Every master data type ID will be having this prefix now. Then it has got all the planning levels, standard planning levels copied. So the very first step will be to activate this planning area, right? So that this status becomes activate here. And you also see that, enabling the change history. For example, there are key figures, uh, uh, where we are, let's say those key figures, we can change some data. Those are editable key figures, right? We can change some data. We want to keep a track who changed, when it was changed, which date it was changed, right? All that stuff, if we want to do that, we will enable this one, but it will cost more space. So sometimes uh, I'll tell you, related to the master data, if you want to switch it on, we have another way to do that rather than just enabling it on the uh, planning area level. And then to activate it, we just, the first step will be to activate it. So we just have to create the activate button. And as we were discussing about this normalization activity, so you will see that normalized will be yes in all the customer systems. So with this normalization, now the time of even activating the planning area has been improved. It will take maximum time of around 5 minutes, and earlier it was 15 to 20 minutes, or even sometimes more than 20 minutes if the key figures are uh, you know more, right? So this, you don't have to refresh it again and again. There is a feature that this refreshment is already happening here. So we can either go to the application logs and see that what exactly is happening. So if we can go to the application logs from here, but let's say that this is closed right now. I have closed this, but in the backend it still that will be running. So activation is running, you see here. And even if I now want to see the application log, I can also go to the another screen. I can open, and there I can go an app, to an app called as application log app. So I can just right click, I can say duplicate. It is opening one more session of this, and similarly the same session will be opened. Yeah, so what I can do now is I can go to the search button, and it will come here. In this search button, I will tell to the system that I want to see the application logs. And this is very cool, because in the standard SAP environment, right, we do have to remember the technical name. If we have to go to the application log, then we have to remember, for example, if it is an APO system /n/SAP APO /, then there will be some T code for this application log and everything else. But here, if we just remember logs, I can just type logs, all the relevant names will come. I can just choose out of it, right? So I'm going to the application logs screen, and it will just tell me that which day I want to see the log. I can just uh, you know um, reduce this. For example, today is 23 of September, and in 23 of September, I can just say logs. So now this is the log of the activation which is going on for the planning area ZIBP 3D SAP. And if I go inside this, I can check all the details that, the system in the backend is performing all these applications. It is checking the relationships. It is validating all the data which has been copied, what all data it has been copied as a part of model configuration. It is doing the validation of that, meaning all attributes, all your master data type, everything, all your key figures, everything, right? Because system do not know that you just copied all the standard ones, right? System will do its own stuff. So now if I want to go to that same where that bar was coming, that how many steps are completed, there are 5 steps. If, so I have closed it. If I want to get that back, so now 5 out of 5, fifth step is running, right? So I think within the time frame of 5 minutes it will be completing this activation. So this refresh is happening automatically, so we don't have to refresh it again and again here. And once it is successful, the last log will actually come that this planning area is actually successful. So it is not only about this log, any kind of activity that we do, even in the Excel also, via Excel, we have logged in into the Excel, and we have loaded some data. We want to view some data. That log also will actually show you here uh, in the same app called as application log. It will just show everything here, that which is that user who has logged in into the Excel. So for example, if I just go into the Excel, log in into the Excel planning area.
So the connection name is SAP IBP is common for everywhere, right? Or is it something we configure it?
Sorry, what is common?
The SAP IBP connection name, just selected one.
No, that's not common. That we need to configure it. Every customer has to configure it according to their need. For example,
Where do we configure them?
here in the Excel, so for the very first time when you will receive your username password, right?
Okay.
So what you will do is you will go to this 3 dots.
Okay.
Okay, you will establish a connection. You will say create.
Okay.
Here you can give any name. Let's say that ZSAP IBP. Right? You have to give that URL. So URL you will receive it like we are using this URL. Right? URL will same for you also.
The
It will
URL will
be
be given by SAP, correct?
yeah. So for example, this training people have purchased the license from SAP. So SAP has given this URL to them, and coordinator will then hand it over to you. So this is the URL which you will actually put it here, and then once you put it here, then you put it itself here. Let me show you this one. The moment you put it here, it will ask for look up the planning areas. Now we have seen that so many planning areas were there in that in this particular server, right? So if
Mm.
it will look up all the planning areas, 36 planning areas. Now let's say that whatever the planning area that we have created, that is also coming up here. We
Yeah.
can select that planning area, and then
Mm-hmm.
we can say okay. So let us see first it is activated or not. Then we will select it and say okay. So now it is activated. Sometimes let's say that you are developing any new key figures within this created planning area, and you are activating it. and it is stopped in between, it will tell you that number of error messages are 3 or 4. It will tell you everything, and then you can go to the application logs and check what are those error messages. So we'll
Okay.
see, creating our own key figures, maybe unintentionally we will do some mistake, and intentionally we will do some mistake.
Okay. Great.
And then number of error messages we will see, and we will try to understand how that looks like in the application log, and then we will correct it. We'll do that exercise. Okay,
So
so now this activation
before
is,
you go, I have a few questions here. So there is a
yes,
focus mode. If you go to the Fiori side, you don't
yes,
have
yes,
to tell me if you are going to cover later, it's fine, but otherwise you can just give me brief descriptions. The focus mode, edit header, check is, I know, is basically whenever you make some change, before activate, you have to check, I think, operations, and then save as file, related apps. Is
yeah,
this something you're going to cover in the later stage? Then I wouldn't worry about it.
yeah. We will cover in few
Okay.
minutes. We can cover this. This is not a very big stuff. We can cover that. So
Okay.
now in the Excel, we have established the connection. We just created this planning area. So for the very first time, right, this planning, any planning area that we create as a new planning area, we need to initialize that with the time profile. Means we need to tell to the system will not understand week, month, quarter, year definition. We need to tell to the system this date to this date is week 1. This date to this date, 7 days, is week 2, right? So what we need to do is we need to initialize the planning area with that time profile details. If we don't do that, and I just say okay, and here now I am getting two connection names, right? This I was using earlier, this we have just created. So this is the connection name that I have chosen. I'll say login. Now it should tell me that, load profile doesn't exist or something. Okay, I think, yeah, okay. So now you see that, okay, I thought it is not giving an error because I may have chosen the same time profile in the same one, but yeah, this
Wrong.
is the error. Yeah, this is the error that you will get, that there is no time data. It means that you need to initialize it. So now if we go back to the presentation, here you see that, if we do not load the time values at initialization, then system won't allow to access the planning area. We would receive the below error message, right? So we need to initialize the planning area now with the time profile. So what SAP has done is SAP has given all the sample data to be loaded in the form of CSV, right? But we can also download the template, on our own by going to an app. So for example, now here, an app called as data integration app can be used to load the data. time profile plus master data plus transaction data. Okay, let me save it. So now this is an app. We'll go to this app and we'll first download all the sample data that is there as a definition for the time profile. So we were talking about few years in the back, few years in the future. So we'll have some kind of horizon to be initialized into the system. Okay, very good. Data integration jobs. This is the app. Jobs. So once you go inside this app, you'll find this screen like this. Now first you can download the template so that you know in which format the data is available. So if we say download the template, it will ask for what you want to download the template. For any master data, for any key figures, which will be the transaction data, or for any time periods. So let's say that it is time periods, and it is asking me which is that time profile. So if you remember what ID we have given ID as an 9 there, right? 9 as a numeric value, and then it is asking me that with new time periods if you need, or with existing time periods. So if we do with a new time period and download it, open it, so with the new time period it will populate all the values by itself. So this one, now if you see, what it is telling is this is your level 1. Level 1 is, let's say this is the day. So day is this day, 1 January 2014 till 1 January 2014. This is one day. And similarly, if you go to the level 2, it will be in weeks. From this day to this day, it will be week number this. Let me go from like this. 2017, 18, 2019, and in the future it is till 2026 or 28, I think. 26, 27, 28, and now second level has started. It means that on 31st August 2015 till uh, you know yeah, first see this 24 August till 30 August. This is 1 week. And you know about technical week now. The next day would be falling into the technical week. So let us take 2022 data to understand. So here we have come to the 2020. Yeah. So here you see that from 2410 to 3010 means October month, it is week 43. right? But one of the day is falling of the October in the next month. So if I open the calendar, so here if I go to the October month, so 2410 uh, to 30th, it is taking one, and then uh, 10 24 2022 to 30, yeah, 31st of October, you see that this is falling into another week. 31st to, it is falling into another week, so it is a part, and then this another month has start, which is November from 1st. So it is taking us from 1 to 6, it is the technical week 44p. So A
Right.
and B put it, right?
That's just a quick question. The technical week, right? So is this something we can change if we are using SAP default only, like starting on Monday?
No, we can
We,
change it. This is the sample data. If you want to change it, you can change this definition according to your requirement. For example, the calendar is starting from, you want to take it only from Monday to Friday, not from Monday to Saturday. Then you can just change these and then load it into the profile. So this will be one-time activity to prepare this.
oh, you have to
You know,
change this data manually over here, is it? And then upload
yeah.
it?
Sample, yeah, sample it will give you. So normally what happens is this kind of factory calendars and all will be residing already in your as a part of
This
finance
one.
activity, right, in
Mhm.
your ECC system. So
Right.
that FICO guys and all finance guys, they will be responsible for it to get it into
Right.
this. So that can be integrated also. But this is also important to understand that if we have that sample data in the CSV format and we have designed it in that way, maybe for the reason that we want to uh, make our calendar within planning system itself,
Oh,
so then yeah, we will just make it the way we want, and then it will help us to just load it using the same you can say same app, which is the data integration app, into
okay.
our system, right? So now let me close this file. Just one
Wow.
second. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to this one. So we already downloaded it, and if we say that with existing time periods, then it will give us the blank one only with the names, like then we have to fill the data from the scratch, whichever whatever data we want to fill. So this will be blank. If we want it along with data, then we have to choose this option as we have choose now. So now I'll just cancel it. We already downloaded it. Now in order to load it, we have to click this plus button. Once I click this plus button, right, and then what I want to load, I want to load master data, key figure data, or the time profile. I want to load the time periods related data. I'll choose this. What is that? It is number 9. What is that file? So file, we just downloaded it. I just, this is the one. And then operation type. In this case, we can we have only one option, but there are two other options which will be applicable for the master data and transaction data. We'll study about that. So choose the operation type replace. So for the first time when we are loading it, so nothing is there. Replace means it's inserting this data right into the system. So replace and insert has no difference in this case, because it's anyway the new data that it is going to populate there in terms of time series, right? Then I'll have to click this save button. So in the down you see this save button. I'm clicking it and saving. Now you say that this is failed because you see here this is this is coming in red color, right? So this is failed, and because it is failed, I can see the initial problem report. So I can go here, click on this initial problem report. It will download one Excel for me. I can go inside this and see that what is the problem. It is telling that format error in row 2. It is an invalid date. Some problem has happened with the date format. Let's see. So I'll go to the download folder where it has downloaded the file. So this is the file. Yeah, so actually we haven't given this format. The system should take it for the, I don't know, maybe in the at the system level I need to see like which all date format it is been given. Just 1 second. Let us see this one. Yeah, it's basically the same format because this I have loaded it earlier, this 99, but nevertheless, no problem. We'll resolve it, right? Let's
Maybe
try
you have
one.
to Excel itself. You have to save us the date format, that particular
No,
field.
no, it
Like
will allow. So let me take it as this is comma separated only, right? This is comma separated, and by default we have taken it as comma separated because sometimes that CSV will be semicolon separated. So in that case, I need to take the semicolon. But here, if I just open it in a notepad as well, open with notepad, I see that this is all comma separated. So all this, it should read it actually properly. I've changed actually the laptop for today. uh, Maybe some date setting within this. If I try this one, it should anyway not read this. It should anyway give me an error that it did not read it. It should be comma separated, and that is what we did for the first time. Comma separated, replace, save, save. No, it is still giving an error. So there are these many records, and all the records even are not rejected, meaning uh, initially itself it is not able to read that file in the format that it should read. I'm thinking that uh, you know at the system level, local level, that
Yeah, you
set
can
that
settings, you can go to start settings. There you can change, right?
start setting, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
go to start settings, then you'll find time, language, all the stuff. So
okay. Or let me search it, right? In search will be also. This is the
yeah,
settings.
this is the one. Yes.
Okay, so if I go inside it,
So
then
language
this
something. Yes, yes,
time
correct.
and that. Yeah, so date. This is about this one. This is time zone and all. Okay, date and time. I think this is about the system date, that how it is taking the current date and all. But I think within the Excel, I need to change that, format to read that. I think I need to spend some time to fix it, maybe later on. So no worries. Good that, if you'll receive this kind of errors, so it will be helpful for us to just go into the system and then do some R&D and then fix it, right? Because in other system it was working, and in this system it is not working. So it means that it is a local setting that the date will be there in the Excel. I need to just little bit explore it and then will come across it. So let's say that we have fixed this error and we have successfully logged into the system. Then all the data that we have to see, for example, in terms of master data, in terms of transaction data, the system will be all blank. So what SAP has done is so for this, you know you can ask in your company when you are into this project, or if you already have, the first thing you ask for the S user ID. So that is for the for accessing all the documents that we have been given from SAP, you will need this S user ID. So this S user ID, okay, Jack, we'll check it out. So this S user ID, will help you to search all the relevant documents plus all the sample master data, all the sample transaction data, all the sample time profile data. So just now, we downloaded that profile, right? So it has downloaded it our system by choosing the data integration app. But SAP has also given several sample, master data, where they have given all the customers related master data, product related master data, location related master data, all the standard key figures data. For example, actuals quantity in terms of sales history, right? For all the levels they have given, several CSV files which has already populated data. We can just load all those files one by one in a sequence, right? In order to set up, some kind of data into the system. In real time, as we know, we will not do this exercise because the data will automatically flow, right? With the help of batch jobs from the source system. But we should understand that there could be some cases that we have to load it via CSV file, some kind of data. It could be a request from the planner, from the business, that okay, this is, I have some data in my CSV file, can you load it into IBP? Or there is some data I'm directly going into the, I'm creating it for the capacity planning. I'm doing it directly in the IBP system. I'm not getting that kind of data, how much capacity, which resources, what kind of machines I'm using for the manufacturing, how much capacity I have for those resources in a week. So let's say in a day, there is a shift of 8 hours. In a week, if it is Monday to Friday, 40 hours is a should be the capacity of one particular machine, which is nothing but as a resource. All this data, I'm manually managing it into our planning system. That may not come from the source system, let's say, right? So these kind of data we can load it directly, right? So all this exercise you will see. So now maybe Jay, you can open your mic and say once again. We'll try if it fix.
Yeah, go to Windows Start. So you want to change the comma settings or time settings? Time
Yeah,
settings is already there, right? Comma
yeah,
separate. Okay.
comma,
Yeah,
comma
so
and all.
comma setting.
Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So go to Windows Start,
Hmm.
Control Panel, or search Control Panel.
Okay. Yeah, I think better to search it.
Yeah. You see the select region. Yeah, right side clock and region. Yeah, that one. Yep.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
okay. Month, day, and y. Okay. So if I see that particular Excel, right? Let's see what is that format.
Are you going to tell the story today? How you recover the data? Maybe some
No,
other.
not today.
Okay.
We'll take it up. Yeah, we'll take it up when we reach to the next topic of this master data. When we are, using. I was telling there are other operations as well. Replace, insert mode. When we reach to that topic, because that story is related to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So middle one is the day, and then first one is the month. Yeah, middle one is the day, first one is the month.
Yeah, but
This is
choose DDDYY. Maybe that will help.
okay, this one,
Next one.
right?
Next one. The 4 Ys. No. Go down.
Ah, this one. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And then come
Yeah.
the additional settings. No, additional settings below. Yeah.
Okay.
Here you can do the comma and always.
Yeah, I think this comma is for numbers. So for now, we have
Yeah,
to
this is
change
okay.
date setting. So I think that should be fine. Let us just try. I'll say apply, and I'll
Hmm.
say okay.
But you
And
need to close this Excel and all. Yeah.
yes, yeah, I'll close it. And 1, 2, 3, 9. Okay, I think it is something else. Let me, explore it little more. You guys can also explore it, and then we will see it in our, next class. What we'll do in our next class, we will definitely fix this one. Plus, what we are going to do is we will also see how to load the data, right? Because then, whatever the planning area that you are creating, if you know how to load the data, you will have the sample data, and in your planning area, you can do then n number of things. Create your own key figures on the top of that. View some data which is already there as a part of sample data and all, right? So we'll continue this exercise later on because it looks like it may take some time to explore, and then we can fix this particular issue. All right, guys. So I wish you happy weekend. Before we close it, okay, just 1 second, hold on.
So HS, in the documents you have shared, there are some sort of practical things, right? Practical how to,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
There are
So
exercises. So that
can you just quickly explain which one we can pick up in a day or
no,
two?
No, actually, you read it in a sequence in your free time.
Okay.
So, yeah, so read it in the sequence. So, whichever you feel that, there will be some exercises. They
Mm.
will give the exercise first, and then, on the top of that, first they will give some theory. So, get a gist of out of everything. See, one mantra I'll tell you, nobody will expect you that you should know each and every of this button, even you know there is so much to learn that nobody knows end to end, right? But if you understand the concept, right, the base of it, then at least you are till that stage that whichever requirement comes right from the business user, you are in the position to understand that and then explore it into the system, because you know that which is the right place at least I should go. For example, I have to do something within the planning area. I know that there is an app called as planning area. Within that planning area, all these entities are there intact. I need to do some analysis on the key figure. The key figure is not behaving in the way. I'll go here and then do something. I need to create some key figure. Even if nobody tells me, I can just select this key figure. So that new key figure that I want to create is of the same nature. I can just rather than creating, I can use this copy button. So these are very user friendly things. As and when we move on, we'll be getting on all these buttons on our own experience also. So the things will come up slowly, right? So the sections that you will see in that PDF, it is not necessary to go to each and every section, right? So when you start reading it, you yourself will get a feeling out of your experience that you should spend some more time in this exercise. This looks important and
Mm.
and interesting as well. So according to your experience, you can just maybe in the phase one, you can just go through the very broad overview. In the phase two, you can cover those topics in little bit detail, like that. According to your own strategy, you can just go through those. And
Yeah,
I'll be putting few more PDFs as well. So don't go page by page and don't stuck anywhere, right? So if something you are not understanding, right, just leave it and go. So it is not everything that we need to understand, right? There will be few things that we can just leave it and then move forward. And so maybe at this point of time, if some particular concept is not making that much sense for you, but going forward, when you are growing in this particular area, right, so that time maybe that particular subject or that particular topic will make more sense for you. So it is a journey, right? We have to take it as a journey. So don't think that within this training itself we need to cover everything. No, this training will form your foundation so that you are ready to take anything which is coming on the way, so that you understand where are the things we have to configure, which are the right processes. So I'm also sharing so much of practical experience. So this is what we will be covering as a part of this training, rather than covering each of the button here and there. If we are leaving few buttons, don't worry about it. So don't struck yourself, right? Because training is something that is for a dedicated time. If you struck somewhere in these buttons, then we may leave some important topics that I would like to cover. Yeah, so this is how we need to see a training which is time bound, right? So for example, if you see these buttons, right, if you want to change something, you just go to the edit header, and then you can change the description of the planning area. And then if you want to check something before activating, you can also check it. If there are any errors, this check will actually give you that these are the errors. So before activation, you can just fix those errors and then activate it. So as a best practice, we can also first check it and then activate it, because check operation is more fast than activate. So activate takes 5 minutes, this check may take little less time. If there are errors anyway, it will catch in the activate. So maybe after 5 minutes it is catching the error, but in the check it may catch the error little fast. Operations, as we were discussing, that if you have done this uh, you know something wrong, you can restore it to the active instance. You want to delete some dependencies, you want to delete this planning area without the dependencies. For example, the dependencies are all this master data type and all. Without that, if you want to just delete this, if you want to see the history of this planning area, that we have just copied it today, at this much of time, and we have activated it after few minutes, this planning area, right? So this is the log that it is giving to you. And then we also can save this tile as a favorite, so that it will be really handy for you. So for example, now here I can also compare this planning area with other planning areas. For example, if I have two planning areas, I want to compare. So what it will do is it will give me, for example, what are the differences between those two planning areas. So for example, now this is the one planning area, and other planning area which I was using is you know let's say ZSAP IBP TR1. So whichever the key figures that I have created extra in this planning area, it will show me that these many key figure differences are there, these many attribute differences are there. So now it is comparing this planning area, all the attributes, all the planning levels, all the key figures. It will compare, and it will show me that two extra, and there are two extra key figures. If I open this, it will give me the summary. What are the differences? These are the two which are only available in this planning area, and these two are different. These are different in both the planning areas. Then there are, in terms of key figures, let me wrap up this. So in terms of key figures, there are 13 extra key figures, because in that planning area I have created some Z key figures, so those are extra there. So that will not be there in the other planning area. All that differences you will be able to see here by comparison. So all this stuff, once you go into the app, once you start exploring the buttons, they are very user friendly. You will get to know each and every button. So like that, we just have to move. All right, guys. So this is what I wanted to cover for today, and then we will continue in our next class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Session
Vinod, can you?
Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday, IST time zone, the same time.
Mhm.
So yeah,